Hey guys, and welcome to the Farming Pastor's Wife. Today we are making bread and butter pickles. Y'all, I had this video already done, already completed, and everything is on my phone. Well, my phone crashed and I lost everything. So my bread and butter pickles turned out to be so good that I didn't mind at all making another video. So I am just slicing up cucumbers. Let me show you. This is, to me, the perfect size for bread and butter pickles. Some of these, like right here, may be getting a tad bit big, but it's still usable. So this size, I would say this is 3 to 3.5 inches long. A good size. And I'm cutting them. I don't know, it's about the width of my fingernail. See, it's about the width of my finger. I don't even know what that would be. It's definitely 1/4 of an inch, if not more. So I am just going to be slicing these up. I'm going to get 10 cups. I need 10 cups of sliced cucumbers. Now, in my first batch of bread and butter pickles, I put onions. The recipe called for 4 onions, and I put 2. So I cut it in half. And even after cutting it in half, I thought it was too many cucumbers. I mean, too many onions. So I am not putting onions in this. I think it may have given it a good flavor, but I think the pickles stand on their own. The brine is so good. You don't need that. So no onions in this one. So I am just slicing away, and as soon as I get them all sliced up and ready, what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to soak them in some ice and some water to keep them cool. I've got to go to church to do some Bible study stuff, and I hope I can go to the Verizon store and see if there's several things still not working right on my phone, and I don't know what in the world, but anyway, I'm hoping we can get my phone straightened out. As far as my dill pickles, I was having an issue with my salt level in those. Probably, and that was another video I had on my phone that when my phone crashed, I lost. So I'm probably not going to remake my dill pickle recipe just because I'm not 100% happy with it. Oh my goodness, my second batch was 1,000,000 times better. I don't know, I probably need to check them and taste them again. But my bread and butter pickles, oh my goodness, they are so good. And I think I'm going to like them better, so much better, without the onions. I just think they're going to be so much better. So my husband, Brian, wants me to do another canning of dill pickles. But I don't know, I've got so many. And y'all, the garden is coming in like crazy. Like crazy. And it's hard for me to keep up with everything. Like, my tomatoes are, I didn't think they were just starting, and it's like the next morning, bam. I mean, they're just everywhere. And so I have a basket out there of tomatoes that need canning now. And like I just told somebody, well, they're not turning red yet. Well, wake up and hello, they're red. So, Ugh, I couldn't believe it. They are red. And we have, oh my goodness, tonight we have a wedding rehearsal. Tomorrow is the wedding. Tomorrow's also church. Then next week we sell chickens, which is, you know, a busy time. I've got all this garden stuff. Isaac won't be here. He's going to the beach with a buddy. It's like, and then I got all this laundry's piled up. I haven't done laundry. And we're going to the beach the following week. And then we come home and then it's vacation Bible school. So I usually shut down about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. As far as work goes, as far as anything productive work, I'm kind of done for by mid to late afternoon. And I've got to somehow get my mind wrapped around not shutting down. I mean, physically, I just get wiped out. And so I don't know what to do to stop that, but I've got to. I think I'm gonna, they just brought me in some more cucumbers. So based on what I have over there, I may either double or at least do a half more of this recipe. So we'll see. I'm going to keep cutting and I'll bring you back in just a little bit. Okay guys, I think I have somewhere between 18 and 20 cups of sliced up cucumbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I've got a bigger stainless steel bowl right here. And I'm just going to go over to the freezer, just probably fill this thing up with ice, and then cover it with water, cover it with saran wrap or tin foil, stick it in the refrigerator until I'm ready to complete the process, which will probably be when I get back from VBS setup. We're just decorating the church. So I'm going to get some ice on this, some water on this, get it in the refrigerator, and I'll be ready to finish it in just a jiffy. Okay, y'all, I forgot to tell you that the water I'm going to soak the cucumbers in, I'm also going to put 1/3 of a cup of pickling salt. The recipe calls for more than that, even in the half recipe is more than this, but I'm putting a generous 1/3 cup of salt just because I got burnt on my dill pickle being too salty. So we're getting this ready, so don't forget to put 1/3 of a cup to a half of salt in your water. Okay, good morning guys. I could not get to my bread and butter pickles yesterday. So they have been soaking all day and all night. You only really need 2 hours to let them soak. But we're going to do it anyway, because I think they're going to be fine. So, let me show you what I've got over here. I've got my jars in my canner, and I've got it turned on, and they're getting hot. Got them in some water. That's where we'll water bath them when they're done. And but I want my jars hot. And I have my cucumbers over here. I've dumped the water and off of them, and I've sprayed them with my spray and rinsed them down. So now I wanted to double my brine recipe. So I'm not sure I have enough sugar to do that. So we're going to see. I'm going to need, in order to double it, I'm going to need 4 cups. So I may have to just do 1.5. And you know, increase it by half instead of increasing it by 1 whole recipe. So we'll see. 2. I'm going to have enough. So we're going to double it. 4 cups of sugar. And the reason I'm doubling it is just because I just want to be sure they're well coated and I have enough. I'd hate to get all these in the jar and not have enough brine to put over them. So just better to be safe than sorry. Because I did some extra cucumbers. It calls for 10 cups and I think I had somewhere around 18 cups. So you learn to do that when you're doing things. Alright, and 3 cups of vinegar, so I'm going to need 6. One. 2. Oh, I got to open this new one. Y'all, I just could not get through this yesterday. Three, 4, 5, 6. Now I hope I have enough room for my cucumbers. That's going to be the question. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get everything in before I stir it. Now you need mustard seed. It calls for 2 tablespoons, but we're doubling it, remember? So we're going to use 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Okay, 4 of the tablespoons. Of the mustard seed. Now we need 1 teaspoon, and I don't have a teaspoon, so I got a half, of celery seed. So we're doubling it, so we need 2 teaspoons. So I'm actually going to need 4 of these, because I only have a half a teaspoon. I don't know what happened. I think it broke. Make sure the celery seed. Half. 1. 1 1/2. 2. Alright, and turmeric. Same thing with the turmeric. It calls for 1 teaspoon. We're doubling it, so we need 2 teaspoons. Now, y'all, let me tell you, you need to have a good old towel in your sink when you get ready to pour this up, because it has stained my white sink. But I got it off. Alright. Half. 1. 1 1/2. 2. Alright, let's get a whisk and stir. And that's all it is for the brine, y'all. That was easy. Sugar, vinegar, mustard seed, celery seed, and turmeric. That's all there is. That's all there is. Y'all, this is the busiest week we have. And we're selling chickens. And the following week we're going on vacation. And now is when my garden is coming in, like with all force. I'm like, oh my word. All right, let me get something to set my whisk on because I don't want it to stain my... I'm gonna set it back here. All right. And it didn't stay on it. Okay. Let's get this going. We're going to turn it on and bring it to a light boil, and then we're going to put the cucumbers down in it. So I'll bring you back as soon as it comes to a boil. Okay guys, I'm going to bring this over here to the sink. And it will take your breath. Let me just go ahead and tell you that. It will take your breath. Let me see if I can find a place for you guys to sit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just bringing it over here because I'd rather it splash around my sink than on my stove. And I'm just going to put the cucumbers easily down in it because that is some hot liquid. Let's see if I have a better way of doing this. There's really no better way than just reaching in with your hands and going. And I'm just going to bring it back up to a quick little boil. And then I'm going to bring the pot over here, set it in the sink. And we're going to take a slotted spoon. And get them out and put them in the jars. Almost there, y'all. Hang tight. Yay! Okay. I'm going to go put this back on the heat. Mix the cucumbers in real quick, and I'll bring you back as soon as it comes to a boil. While the cucumbers are coming back up to a boil, I did want to show you I do have a pot of water that I do put my lids in and just get them hot. They say you don't have to do that anymore, but I just err on the side of caution and I still do it. So as soon as I know how many jars I have filled, I will drop some lids down into that boiling water. You don't have to boil it. In fact, I can turn it down a little bit. It just needs to be good and hot. But yeah, we're just waiting on the cucumbers over here in the brine to come back up to a boil. And then I'll be getting my jars out, my hot jars. And we'll be ready to pack this thing up. Okay, y'all, I have gone and got me a cup of coffee. My cucumbers have come back to a boil. And I brought them over here to the sink, and I'm taking a slotted spoon. And we're just going to get the cucumbers out. Let me get my funnel. That'll make it easier. And we're going to load these jars up. Now this will take your breath and maybe even burn your eyes a bit. This is probably not the best funnel to do this with. But I'm just going to load the jars up initially at first, and then we may have to go back and fill them some more. So I'll bring you back just as soon as I get all the jars filled. Okay, y'all, I had to go get my hair out of my eyes. We've got 7 jars, 7 pints. And so I've gone ahead and got my lids in to get hot. And I use the pickle crisp. Now these bread and butters aren't as crisp as your dill pickles and stuff, but I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon in each jar. The reason I'm doing 1/2 is because I don't know if I have enough to do a whole. So we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon. There we go. All right, let me get another sip of my coffee. Yum. Okay. So I've got a little bowl here. I'm going to dip out the... I need to get out. I had a few cucumbers I couldn't fit in there. Let me dip those out. Give me just a second. We'll snack on these. We can taste these and I can show you how they taste or give you an update. Because this is what they're going to taste like. Alright. Now, I better put my funnel back. Now y'all remember, this is really, really hot liquid. Now I'm going to take a knife and poke them down just a little bit because I don't want them to overfill the top of the jar because then they won't seal. But I was trying to get every last cucumber in there and I still didn't do it, but... And y'all, let me tell you, this liquid will take your breath. It smells so good, but if you get your head right over it. Of course, I guess if you got a cold, it would be a great thing to make bread and butter pickles. Open them sinuses right up. I'm going to have some extra brine left. I think if I'd have done the 1 1/2, but I wasn't sure. So, better to be safe than sorry, right? Okay. I'm going to have to get Bryant to dump that out. I am not pouring that down my sink. It's going to go outside in the grass. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to get a wet paper towel. And just clean off the top. Now y'all, when I made my cowboy candy with jalapenos, it's very similar to this. Except it does have some, I think it has garlic in it. And I saved my brine. The book I had got the recipe out of, which is the ball canning book, said it makes a great, well, no, back up, because my cowboy candy did not come out of my ball book. but where I got the recipe for the cowboy candy said that brine makes a great marinade for, or a glaze for meat. So it's very similar to this, so you could probably do the same thing with this if you wanted to save it. I'm not going to save it because I did save my cowboy candy brine. Let me get the lids and we'll put them on. And yes, y'all, I'm still in my pajamas. It is Sunday morning. I did not get this done yesterday, so I had no choice but to get up and get my ox out of the ditch this morning before church. Wowza, wowza, wowza. They're hot. And they sell, I'm going to go get me one. I don't have it yet, but they sell like a magnet that just reaches down in here and just picks it right up. I am going to have one. All right. And 7 lids are on. And I'm going to put the rings on just down to fingertip tightness. And I'm going to go ahead, as I put the lid on, go ahead and stick them down in the water. Oh, nope. I think the other day I put the rings, like I just sat them on there and maybe tightened them a tad bit, and then went around and I forgot one, and I put it in the canner and it boiled out. So that is why I'm putting it on as I put the lid on. I mean, putting it in the thing as I put the lid on. Ah! Oh, you know what? I hope that doesn't. I hope I wiped that one. Y'all, aren't they pretty? They're so pretty! Look. So pretty. Now that water in there is boiling. It needs to cover the lids. It needs to cover the top of them. And as I put each one in, the water rises in order to cover them. And that one did it. It sent it over. So these two will just add more. Be careful, they're hot. Sometimes I have to take a rag and put around it and hold it with a rag. Okay, that was the last one going in. I'm going to put the lid on top and let them process and boil for about 10 minutes. And then I'll turn it off, let them sit in there for about 5, bring them out, and wait to hear the pings of the lid sealing. So hang on a minute and I will taste one of these that's hopefully cooled down a little bit. Okay, so to me, the best way to eat these cucumbers is when they're cold out of the refrigerator. But I couldn't wait. So these are some of the extra I couldn't fit in the jars. So I'm going to taste them and see what I think. First, we got to make sure they're crunchy. I hope they're crunchy. They're crunchy. And good.
Good morning, everybody. She's in here making pickles at like 7 o'clock now, so let me try it. That's really good. Really, really good.
They're good.
Do you know why I'm having to lean down?
Because I'm short.
And she broke her tripod again. So she has you like, she's rigged up something here for you.
You're sitting on a coffee canister.
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee.
It's time for cup number 2.
I haven't finished cup number 1 yet.
She's slow. She's been busy talking to you.
So guys, y'all, this is so good. Let me tell you a great way to eat.
Look at these peppers. Has she showed you them yet?
Mm-mm.
We have a table full of peppers. The garden is coming in like crazy.
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm going to start my own gardening show.
I'm just going to chop those up and freeze them and just pull them out as I use a recipe. But let me tell you a good way to eat this. And y'all are going to think this is so gross and it sounds gross. But don't knock it till you try it. You get a Zesta. It has to be Zesta soda crackers or saltine cracker. You put the thinnest layer of mayonnaise. Just a thin layer of mayonnaise. You put one of these on top. Mmm.
Look at that German Johnson. Can you see? Here, I want you to compare the size of Leslie's hand to that tomato.
Y'all, I had one the other day.
Right,
This
look,
half of the tomato was
this.
this.
Compare her head.
This half of the tomato was this size, and I mean, it took both my hands to hold a tomato. It was huge. One half, you cut the tomato in half, and one half sliced filled up a whole sandwich. It was unbelievable. Y'all, these bread and butter pickles are delicious.
I'm like hijacking her show for a second. But anyway, look, here's from yesterday.
Show them the peppers.
There's the. Oh no, hang on. Oh, we had like a major calamity there. I hit a button. But there. Oh. There's a 5-gallon bucket full of squash. And there is all those peppers from the garden yesterday. So anyway, look at those beautiful.
Look at this one. This one looks like something you would buy in the grocery store.
I grew that one. She didn't. Yeah. Oh, I grew that one too.
I grew them.
I'm just
we
kidding.
both grew them.
I'm just kidding. We grew them.
I couldn't have done the garden this year without him.
We grew them together. All right, here we go. I'm gonna give her show back. Okay. I'm gonna go back and finish my studying for this morning. How do you turn this camera
You
around?
don't while it's playing. You gotta stop. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. He loves y'all as much as I do. So, anyway, the bread and butter pickles, I will bring you back when I get them out of the canner. They are so good. So good. Even without the onion. Now, I do think maybe a little bit of onion is good in it, but 2 was way too much. So I just decided not to do any this time. And they're wonderful. So, y'all try them. They're delicious. They're easy. That took me no time. I got up on a Sunday morning before church and made bread and butter pickles. So, and all I got to do now is clean up. So I'll bring you back when I pull them out of the canner and show you what they all look like and how beautiful they are. Okay guys, it's time to get them out. So aren't they pretty? Oh, did you hear that? That's what that wonderful sound sounds like. Whoop, did you hear that? Y'all, that is the most, to somebody who cans and preserves, That is the most glorious sound in the world. My kids get so mad at me. I can be sitting in the den and hear them start popping, and each pop, I go, I love that sound. And it'll pop again, another one will pop, and I'll say, I love that sound. That's the sound of them sealing. And it's the most glorious sound in the world when you've worked hard to put up something. Ah! Y'all are getting to hear it. That's 3. And sometimes it may take an hour for them all to seal, or more. But y'all, that is the most glorious sound in the world. I love that sound. So let me just show you. There they are. 7 jars of bread and butter pickles. Y'all, thank you for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. I hope you make these bread and butter pickles, especially if your garden is producing cucumbers. If not, go to the farmer's market. Get you some good, fresh cucumbers. I don't know how many cucumbers I used, but you don't have to make a double recipe. Make a half a recipe. In fact, that's what I did the first time around. I made a half a recipe. And add some onion to it if you want to. That makes it go a little further. So, but y'all, they're delicious. They're wonderful. I hope you enjoyed learning how to can. Thank you for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. And remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all. I love you.